Today's story is nothing but gruesome and horrifying. It's about the Chop Chop Lady, which means exactly what it sounds like. A woman whose body was chopped and butchered into several pieces. This case has become something like an urban legend in the Philippines, often serving as a warning to wives who might stray or to girls who stay out too late. This is Elsa Santos Castillo's story, the most well-known crime of passion in the Philippines. A lot of people ask me, where do you get all your story ideas? Well, I consume a lot of true crime media. On weekends or after work at night, you can usually find me in bed, glued to Netflix documentaries. But have you ever felt like you're only getting a glimpse of what's out there? As a big Netflix fan, I realized that without a VPN, I was essentially paying for the director's cut, but only getting the trailer. That's why I started using a VPN. You all know what a VPN is, right? A VPN, or a virtual private network, is an app that hides your IP address and protects your internet connection with encryption. Today, I've got a fantastic deal from our sponsor, Private Internet Access. With PIA, you can access content that's restricted in your region, like documentaries from abroad, exclusive shows, and more on all streaming services. And there's more. Ever worried about using public Wi-Fi? PIA encrypts your connection, keeping your data safe from hackers. So using my link, you can get 83% off Private Internet Access. That's only $2.03 a month, plus 4 extra months free. It's the best deal I've seen for any VPN. And they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. The best part is, one subscription covers an unlimited number of devices at once across all platforms. Head over to piavpn.com/darkasia to grab this amazing deal on Private Internet Access. And a big thanks to PIA for sponsoring today's video. On the morning of September 27th, 1993, a businessman's driver made a shocking confession to the police that he had disposed of a chopped-up body of a woman. The driver led a team of National Bureau of Investigation, the NBI agents, to Barangay Polong, Santa Rosa, Laguna. When they arrived, they weren't the first there. A crowd had already formed, surrounding an area where parts of a mutilated body were scattered along the road. These body parts had initially been found by tricycle drivers. The victim was Elsa Santos Castillo, the assistant personnel manager of Apex Motor Corporation. The remains of the victim were taken to a funeral parlor in Santa Rosa. The NBI agents, along with the driver, Demetrio Ravello, visited the house of the victim's family to inform them of the tragic event. The driver informed the police that he had followed instructions from his employer, Stephen Mark Weisenhunt, to dispose of the body. Stephen was an American citizen from San Francisco and the son of the owner of the motor corporation where Elsa had previously worked. The following morning, Stephen was arrested by NBI operatives at the Apex Motor Corporation in Mandaluyong City. He appeared visibly nervous and began to tremble when approached. He was informed that his car would be impounded as it was suspected to have been used in the crime. Upon inspecting the trunk, the NBI discovered stains on the plywood board inside. Suspecting these were blood, they conducted an analysis and confirmed their suspicions. This evidence further implicated the American businessman, Stephen, in this grim affair. Stephen had multiple bruises on his face and body, which suggested a scuffle had occurred. Consequently, he was detained by the NBI. The following day, agents searched Stefan's condo in Green Hills. They discovered strands of hair beneath the bathroom's rubber mat and rugs. In the bedroom, bloodstains were found on the bedspread and covers, stains on his shoes, and more hair strands on the lampshade. Most significantly, the driver Demetrio helped the agents retrace the route he had taken with Stefan to Bataan, where he had driven his boss to scatter and discard Elsa's body. To corroborate his account, they retrieved items that Stefan had discarded. Elsa's sister later identified these items as belonging to her sister, confirming the accuracy of Demetrio's statements. Elsa Santos Castillo, who was 35 years old, was known to be loving and obedient towards her parents. To her cousins, she was cheerful and often enjoyed joking around. Being the youngest of 3 siblings, Elsa's dream was simply to have a complete family. In 1993, she worked at Apex Motor Corporation as the assistant personnel manager. Elsa had been married to Fred Castillo for 4 years by then. Their marriage was troubled, frequently marred by arguments over Fred's preference for spending time with friends rather than focusing on their marriage and financial concerns. She viewed him as immature and irresponsible, feeling neglected as a wife, which led her to leave him and return to her family's house in Blumentritt, Manila. Their childless marriage made it easier for Elsa to leave and end things. This unhappy marriage left Elsa craving love and affection. Around this time, Elsa met Stefan Weisenhunt, a 42-year-old American, the son of the company owner and her direct boss. Stefan had a wife in the States, while Elsa was separated from Fred. Initially, Stefan maintained professionalism, but eventually, he began courting Elsa secretly. He favored her, even promoting her and doubling her salary. Known for being protective and jealous, Stefan often asked Demetrio, his company driver, to drive Elsa from her house in Manila to the office and back. Demetrio frequently drove her to Stefan's condo in Platinum at Green Hills as well. Being on the same team and working closely together affected their judgment. Both married to others, they still started an illicit affair, which became noticeable to their colleagues. The office rumor mill was abuzz with talk of her special treatment. To quell the rumors about her affair with her boss, Elsa quit her job at Apex in April 1993. But the affair continued for several more months. On the morning of September 23rd, Stefan asked Demetrio to pick up Elsa at her family's house in Blumentritt, Manila, before lunch. Demetrio found Elsa near her house wearing a violet blouse and carrying bags. He then brought Elsa to Stefan's condo, and the day proceeded as usual. That day, Stefan asked him to wait for Elsa so he could drive her home before midnight. Demetrio waited in the building until 10 p.m., but didn't hear from Stefan or Elsa, so he informed Lucy, Stefan's housemaid, that he was leaving. The next morning, September 24th, Demetrio went back to Stefan's unit. Around noon, Lucy mentioned a missing kitchen knife needed for preparing lunch. Demetrio overheard her asking Stefan about it, and Stefan said the knife was in his bedroom. Demetrio saw Stefan retrieve and hand the knife to Lucy. Why would he keep a knife in his bedroom? He thought it was strange, but didn't think much about it. The following day, Amy Serrano, a worker at Apex, asked Demetrio if Elsa was still at Stefan's condo. He said yes, even though he hadn't seen her. But he was troubled by a strange feeling that he should check on her, especially as he hadn't seen her since taking her to the house 2 days earlier. He returned to Stefan's condo around 10 a.m. the next day. Stefan asked him to check the car's fuel gauge because he will be going on a long trip, get a gas slip from the office, and then fill up the car. Around noon, when Demetrio returned to the condo after refueling, Stefan asked him an unusual question about how long he intended to work for him. Demetrio, expressing his loyalty, said he was willing to work for Stefan indefinitely. At this point, Stefan broke down crying and hugged Demetrio. He confessed, "I have a problem, Rio." And when Demetrio inquired what was wrong, Stefan revealed that Elsa was dead. Demetrio was stunned. He asked, "Why did you kill her?" Stefan claimed that he didn't kill her, suggesting she died of bangungot in her sleep, a term in the Philippines for sudden, unexpected nocturnal death syndrome, a mysterious phenomenon causing death during sleep. Demetrio suggested that Elsa's body should be autopsied to clear Stefan of blame, but Stefan confessed to having beheaded Elsa and chopped up her body. He even offered to show Demetrio the decapitated body, which Demetrio, horrified, refused to see. Stefan then asked for his help in disposing of Elsa's remains. They went to a shopping center and bought a large suitcase, and Demetrio noticed Stefan appeared jittery with teary and bloodshot eyes. Upon their return to the condo, Stefan instructed Demetrio to wrap the body parts in the black garbage bags. Demetrio reluctantly entered Stefan's bathroom and encountered the body parts. When he lifted the head by the hair, he recognized Elsa's face. He assisted Stefan in packing them into 3 separate bags, which they then loaded into a suitcase. They brought the suitcase downstairs and loaded it into the trunk of Stefan's car. Demetrio drove with Stefan sitting beside him. They left Green Hills around 2 p.m., with Stefan directing Demetrio to drive south. Along the way to Stefan's vacation home in Bagak, they disposed of the bags containing body parts, Elsa's clothing, and various items, including Elsa's violet Giordano bag and a green and violet striped dress. They reached the mansion around midnight. Demetrio, fearful for his life and worried he might be the next victim, was unable to sleep. The following morning, Stefan instructed him to clean the car trunk to prevent any lingering odors. Afterwards, they drove back to Manila. On their way back, Demetrio witnessed Stefan take out an ATM card, burn it partially, and throw it out the window. Before parting, Stefan suggested that Demetrio and his family should take a vacation, offering him money. Once home, Demetrio immediately informed his family about the events. His wife advised him to report the incident to the fiscal judge in their town, who then accompanied them to the Department of Justice. From there, they were referred to the National Bureau of Investigation, where Demetrio gave his statement to the head of the Anti-Organized Crime Division. At first, the NBI agents were skeptical of his account. However, upon visiting the location where Demetrio said they had disposed of the body, they found a group of tricycle drivers who had already discovered the body, and a crowd was assembling as the agents arrived. The autopsy revealed that Elsa's cause of death was multiple stab wounds. Her head had been decapitated, her hands severed, and her legs detached at the knee joints, missing some bones, with her feet cut off at the ankles. Horrifically, her organs and genitals had been removed. During the trial, Stefan defended himself, claiming that he was unwell on September 23rd. He denied asking Demetrio to fetch Elsa, and he asserted that he didn't see his driver in the afternoon of the following day. He claimed he only felt better 2 days later, which was when he asked Demetrio to drive him to Bataan. Upon arrival, Stefan claimed he met his family and went jet skiing on September 25th, sustaining bruises from losing control of his jet ski in choppy waters. Also, he claimed to have slipped down the stairs at home, which he said caused his injuries. Stefan stated that he only learned of Elsa's death upon his arrest by the NBI on September 28th. He denied involvement in her death, asserting he had no motive to kill her as he was deeply in love with her. Stefan, in his defense, brought up the possibility that the murderer might be the person who sent him 2 anonymous letters. The first letter stated, "Thank you for lending the car and driver. But you care too much, Steve. You are shameless. You are interfering with what is not yours." The sender threatened revenge at the right time, ending the letter with a curse word. The second letter warned, "What is Peter's is for Peter only. Whoever interferes will find himself at the gates of St. Peter in heaven." Initially, Stefan disregarded these letters, but when he mentioned them to Elsa, she became upset and worried, suggesting they were from Fred, her estranged husband. Attempting to deflect suspicion, Stefan implicated Fred. He claimed the bloodstains in his bedroom were from his sister-in-law, who stayed there and had the same blood type as Elsa. Additionally, Stefan's aunt testified that she visited him during the relevant days and noticed nothing unusual in his bedroom or bathroom. In a last-ditch effort to cast doubt on the evidence against him, Stefan went after Demetrio's trustworthiness. He claimed that Demetrio was holding a grudge against him because he'd often scolded him for dangerous driving, and even asked Demetrio to quit his job. Stefan suggested that Demetrio, seeking revenge, might have killed Elsa to frame him. On November 19, 1993, the Regional Trial Court of Pasig City charged Stefan with the murder of Elsa. The court concluded that Demetrio's testimony was credible, as evidenced by Elsa's belongings being found exactly where he said they were discarded, and his accurate description of Elsa's mutilated body. Although there was no eyewitness to Elsa's death, the circumstantial evidence against Stefan was overwhelming. The court dismissed the theory of Demetrio as the killer, judging that mistreatment by an employer was an insufficient motive for committing such a gruesome crime. Furthermore, Fred's letters were aimed at Stefan, not Elsa, and it was established that Elsa was last seen alive in Stefan's condo and later found dead in his bathroom. The autopsy contradicted Stefan's claim that she died during her sleep. The court questioned why Stefan would dismember Elsa's body if she had died of natural causes, finding his explanation implausible. Significantly, it emerged during the trial that Elsa had reconciled with Fred shortly before her death, suggesting that Stefan's jealousy might have driven him to murder. She had tried to end things with Stefan, but he didn't take this well. His desperate love notes to Elsa, begging her not to leave him, were presented as evidence of his motive. Stefan appealed the lower court's decision. Elsa's family worried that he might escape punishment using his wealth. The Weisenhunts attempted bribery, offering NBI agents 1 million pesos and a new car each, but the agents refused the bribes and exposed the Weisenhunts' actions. Despite this, it is believed in the Philippines that the affluent can often prolong trials with skilled legal representation. Finally, on January 31st, 1996, which was Elsa's birthday, the Court of Appeals upheld the trial court's decision. But Stefan took his case to the Supreme Court. In November 2001, the Supreme Court of the Philippines finally confirmed Stefan's guilt beyond reasonable doubt for the murder of Elsa, sentencing him to reclusion perpetua. But surprisingly, Stefan's life sentence, which began in 1993, was reduced by 6 years due to good conduct while incarcerated. After spending 19 years in jail, he was deported to the US to continue serving his sentence. On February 23, 2013, he boarded a flight to California. He is permanently barred from returning to the Philippines. Under Philippine law, prisoners sentenced to reclusion perpetua may be eligible for sentence reduction and early release based on a formula known as the Good Conduct Time Allowance. This provision, particularly in cases involving heinous crimes, has raised questions and concerns. There is speculation about whether the Whisenhunt's influence and wealth played a role in reducing Stefan's sentence and facilitating his return to the US. The case was so sensational that it inspired 2 movies released within months of each other, just a year after the murder. The films offered contrasting portrayals of Elsa, one as a woman seeking escape from an unhappy marriage, and the other depicting her negatively as an adulterous woman who brought about her own demise. In Filipino popular culture, Elsa is known as the Chop Chop Lady. Her death, largely overshadowed by the sensational narrative and the intense investigation that followed, remains a topic of intrigue and speculation. The full truth of the incident is known only to Stefan. Today's case is indeed a sad reminder of how complicated and sometimes dark human relationships can be. May those grieving find peace and healing with time, and may Elsa's memory be honored in a way that brings comfort to her loved ones. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.